Hello. This day I wanted to show you people what I've done for these few days. I've done a little bit, such as just adding special structures for checking uh, stats, stats, the whole shop, and the randomizer for all the tiers uh, for the stands. So first of all, what are the rarities right now? The rarities are pretty simple. You got the common, uncommon, rare. Then you have very rare is middle rarity. Basically, the place where this can actually get any sort of trading value if maxed out. And now you have epics that actually have a trading value, and this thing with mythics, um, pretty good and pretty good values. And now legendaries, they have good value as well. They're tradables. Most likely you'll see people trading them. If I were to publish this data pack, maybe. And then you have memes. They're just the rarest, but the coolest stands. So currently, there's only a few modals for the armor. Just the fact that there are only a few. There isn't all of them, and not all stands are still there. There's gonna be more, but later. So instead of making modals for each one, I made it so it runs a say command. But all the commons and two of the epics have an actual modal for the armor. So they actually, instead of saying a say command, they're going to run a replace item. So this is a manual random system that just, it's not a random system, but it just replace items. Your arrow in your offhand, you can see, use the arrow. You have to be in your offhand slot. And you can only use one at a time. You can't use multiple ones because that would break a lot of stuff. Now this is just a replace item command, and this just kind of replaces this thing. Oh, yeah, this thing is kind of useless. Let's fix this. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. This thing is not what was supposed to be there. So by pressing this, I will obtain a random stand. Depending on what rarity, how lucky I get, I might get a different stand. So you can see I have obtained the common stand, and this is Osiris. You can see it gives me different effects. These are stats. So first, how do we check the stats? Well, we need to build a simple structure uh, that you see over here. This is the structure for seeing, for the tell raw command that just tells you which stats you have. So first, you need to put a cross of smooth quartz on the ground, and um, here you need to put a chiseled quartz block. Now on top of this middle block, you have to put a sea lantern, and there a jungle button, and now you have to put blocks of iron on all of the smooth quartzes. So you also put smooth quartz on all iron blocks, and you make another cross just like this. You put more iron blocks over here. Now more iron blocks, smooth quartz, and iron and smooth quartz. Now you use this button, and this will tell you what stats your stand has. We just press this button, Oh, well, I'm stupid, I guess. I didn't complete the structure. Well, now you see this should work. Like after 3 seconds, it's going to tell me my current stats. There's only 4 stats right now, but sooner or later there's going to be all 6 stats. So it has current stats. This is Osiris. It has all the stats that are canon. So destructive power E, durability C, speed D, and learning D. First, destructive power has basically no usage other than the whole stats checker, and then you have durability that is very essential. It gives you different amount of hearts depending on your durability level of the stand. So this is the average amount of hearts. It is 40 health, so meaning this is 20 hearts. Now if I were to do this special tag over here, if I just add myself D in door, you can see it went from C to D, and this is 6 hearts less than your average amount. So now if we check our stats, you will see this actually works. Even if we have Osiris, this is working for every single stand. You can see our durability went down to D. What about E durability? This is the simple Minecraft durability that you get without any data packs or any health increasers like health boost. This thing has no health boosts whatsoever. So since we have no health boosts, this means that we are very weak and some moves can just one-shot us. By the way, these are only modals for the stands. They are not actually with moves. So there's only 3 stands right now that have moves, and that's the Poochie stand trio. And now you have Osiris. You can see it normally has different stats. So if I were to remove this E in durability, you can see it goes back to C, um, depending on durability that you have. The whole basic stand has. If you were to add with tags, you were to add a weaker durability, you can see, or any weaker stat than the current one, it will go downwards. But if you were to add higher stats, it cannot go upwards. So there's no way to buff. Unless I switched in the functions files, I switched the stuff up, but then you could go higher, but you couldn't go lower. So I mean, debuffs have a bigger meaning than buffs, I'm pretty sure. So here is another randomizer. We're going to randomize a stand, and you can see this just gave me another common stand. So here is Coco Jumbo, basically Mr. President. You can check its stats. Again, you can build the structure anywhere in the world. You just have to be close to this button, press it, and now if you build the structure correctly, you're going to receive these messages depending on what kind of stats your stand has, or if you do not have a stand, then it's just straight up all C's. So for destructive power, you can see it is currently at E. Durability is the only good stat here. It has A, speed E, and learning E. So since we know exactly what destructive power does, it does nothing. Durability, it is different amount of hearts. Speed is mining fatigue or haste or no effects depending on the speed of the stand. Now for learning, it is a very special stat. It is dependent upon the basic item prices in the shop. It does not increase the rare items, but they're currently not there yet. So if I press this button near this very hard to obtain structure, then I will obtain this information of the shop. Now if I click this, there's currently not a money system, but depending on the learning stat, you can see it is, if it is lower than C, then one stat lower, each time, it is going to increase the prices of basic items by 15% if it is higher than C, and every single stat is going by one up. From C, it's basically minus 15%. So since the lowest possible learning skill is E, the best, the only prices you can obtain is plus 30% increased prices. So this currently does not have a balance. There's currently not a balance system. But if I click this, I actually obtain an arrow. Raka as well. Can keep clicking this. To obtain more arrows. 32 arrows, that's not much, but it does cost a lot of money. So if I were to, you can see this is called Apple because the tell raw values from the click event, they're just kind of bugged out, and they do not allow me to make stand arrow or rocker cup fruit. So I can't really name them like this, but you'll get the hang of it. You can currently check our tag at S, remove. This is the only way to check the stats. Now there's another thing I want to show you with this stand. It has a place that you can go to. It is called basically Mr. President's room. So here's the room. You can see I used the debug stick to be able to form this table from beds, and then this couch also from beds, and then these seats also from beds, and then you have the clock and the flower pot over here, and this cabinet over here as well. You can actually put items in here, and they're always going to stay in this room. This is not a temporary room. This is a permanent room for every single Mr. President to teleport to. So there's only one way to get out of this room. And there's currently no way to get in. This is the only way to get out. And it teleports you back to spawn. Not to your current last position, but back to spawn. And let's get another one. Let's see what we get. You can see it said harvest. So this is one of the rares. And fast stats. Alright, let's check its stats. You're not gonna be surprised. This thing sucks. It's the same stats as Mr. President's. However, it's going to be a little bit better because range is going to be B, but then still it's going to be better in fighting than Mr. President. Anubis is another A in durability. There's a ton of A in durabilities in common. Gets haste. Generation 2 is also dependent upon your durability stat, how fast you'll regenerate. And then it gets health boost 10. So it gets 60 hearts. You can see this is a ton. It basically becomes faster when it comes to regenerating its attacks by any basic means, such as swords. I mean, the moves it will only have two moves, and that's the sword dash, and then this is sword dash, and then just sword slice, and then maybe a third move if I wanted to, like an auto aim sword. These stats are actually surprisingly good. You can see they're actually surprisingly good. It actually has pretty good stats. It's probably the best common right now. So destructive power, it has B in destructive power, A in durability, speed B, learning C, but the other stats we'll have are all E's. So basic prices are $2,000 for stand arrow and $1,000 for Raka. And then for each basic item, there's more basic items on the way as well. But things like Requiem arrows, certain blocks that you can um, make these structures from, but not these structures. Only other structures that are only one-time use for a specific item. Then you're gonna need. They cannot be increased or decreased. So I mean that's cool for bad stands, but bad for good ones. So I'm pretty sure that's overall bad. Alright, so Anubis is pretty goddamn good for common rarity. Now, Osiris, you can see this thing it went down, but I'm pretty sure I might have forgotten the health increase. Whenever you get the sand, you should have the health fully increased to full. But I guess it didn't work this time, or I didn't add the whole function with this. Osiris, you can check its stats. It's not good stats. It's indestructible power, durability C, speed D, learning D. It's not good. All right. Depth 13, and this is one of the very rare stands. You can see the red particles, the hand, rare. I'm actually thinking about swapping these two in rarities because I just kind of feel like the hand should be one of the very rares, and the Depth 13 should be one of the rares. I mean, it's not that super OP, but I have to make another place for Depth 13 Nightmare Worlds, and then this Coco Jumbo room is already being made. So Coco Jumbo Shell, I mean, there's no way to get in right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just forgot about the healing for this, but whatever. The others heal to full. You can see, yeah. You can see it's not easy to get any good stands. It's mostly commons. Half of the time it's commons, and then a lot of the times as well it's uncommon stands. You can see I got Silver Chair from Stardust Crusaders. I got Echoes. I got 2 of these in a row. That's pretty cool. Hierophant Green. Magician's Red. Oh, I got a legendary stand, so that's pretty cool. I got Midnight Shapeshift is basically a stand that will allow you to become one of the stands from the common, uncommon, or rare. So, most of the time, since I'm using binary numbers for the randomizers from the power of 2, then I can only make, like, let's say if I want 3 things at once, I need to make one of the things more common than the others. So let's say we make commons the most common, because they all kind of suck, why not? You could also add other chances. Or you could make it 4 rarities, but then you have like 16 numbers. That's pretty good, I guess. 8 numbers. That's actually not a bad idea, since 2 to the power of 3 is 8, and then 1/8 chance for a very rare stand. That's a pretty good chance, in my opinion. But that's just a specific stand. Now, Osiris, Magician's Red. You can see I'm just kind of thinking about Sticky Fingers. Yeah, that's a good. Echoes, the Hand, Harvest, Hierophant Green, Osiris, Hierophant Green, Echoes, High Star, Spice Girl. I got gold experience. This is one of the few modals that actually work. Alright, you can see already that my health is pretty low. Check its stats. It has C in destructive power. Durability, it has D, so it's a little bit lower than C's, so you're basically dead by a lot of stands by being one shot. You got speed A and learning A. So prices for basic items, they're going to be lower than most. You can see they're 30% lower. So um, rockets cost like 1,000. You can see 30% out of 1,000. So basically $1,000 minus 30% of $1,000 is 1,000 minus 300, and you get $700. And that's how the shop works. I think it's a good idea to make the learning stat actually useful in any way. If I did destructive power, uh, any kind of buffs or debuffs, then you know how it would end up, because like you couldn't hurt um, things at all with some stance. Like let's say that would be kind of too OP, I'm pretty sure. Like you could add strength, weakness, weakness 2, but then you know you can actually attack and you have weakness 2. You can't attack anyone. So yeah, gold experience, it has haste 2, you know, pretty fast speed. It's A and speed, and then you got health boost 2, 4 hearts, and then you have regeneration 1, and you also have learning A. So specifically, there's one more stance that actually works, and you probably already know what stand this might be, and you already you already seen it before. With me playing as it. So this stand is none other than White Snake. However, I just made it so there's these specific rarity givers. So I just can give myself a common stand by the first command block, and now I just kind of want to clear ourselves. Clear it as, and I get myself an uncommon. You can see every time I press this button, I get an uncommon rarity. So every time I can just keep spamming this button, and I'm going to get every time a random one of these stands. And this can also lead to about 10 of the same stands if you're lucky or unlucky, depending on what stand you want. So rares: White Album, Yellow Temperance, The Hand, and Harvest. There we go. Rare, very rare. Now let's see what stands are here. Sticky Fingers, Death 13, Silver Chariot from Stardust Crusaders, and Echoes. You can see it had 3 Silver Chariots, and then you had an Echoes. I'm probably going to switch Death 13 though. Just make it rare, but make a map for it, because why not? Unless I copy the original map and make it something different. Now for epics, you'll see that these half of the time they're going to give me a modal. So let's say right now I got Stone 3, and there's another stand here. I got gold experience again. Boy to Man. This thing can copy moves, as you do know, but it does not require you to play rock, paper, scissors. Just hit something that is currently on its first slot, and then you can copy its move. And I know this is going to take a while to do, but it's possible. Let's see. It's going to be possible. Now, Boy to Man again, and Boy to Stone 3. Gold experience. Just give me the stand. Come on, man. I just keep getting gold experience. I want to get 60. Alright, here we go. We got White Snake. So, what about White Snake's stats? These stats are as followed. You can see destructive power is unknown, durability is A, speed is D, and learning is unknown. So if learning is unknown, then if it is unknown, then you'll just have basic prices, nothing big. Really, you'll just have basic prices for C's. There's one way to go C-Moon right now. So there's currently only one way. You can find the path to heaven if you give yourself, depending on which part of it we want to make first. I'm gonna make the green baby first. You need 13 shulker boxes. I know this is expensive. Um, you need a slime block, melon. Um, what else? Jungle button, of course. And you also need green glazed terracotta. 11 of those. Okay. Now you're going to also want yourself some pickaxe with a silk touch, because if you just kind of make one mistake, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna work. So silk touch. And now you can see that my pickaxe has silk touch. So let's build this structure from scratch. So we're going to start by putting these two slime block, making a typical cross. Always, they're all the same based structures. They're not any different than the other ones. Now just put a melon in the middle. Put these 4 or 3 together. Make this kind of thing. Put another cross of shulker boxes. They all have to be facing up. If they aren't facing up, then the whole structure will fail. So you need to know if they're all facing up. So they are. Alright, now we can put this button and we'll get the button back and we get green baby. So it is one of the 2 steps to reach heaven, but there's still another one. You're going to want 13 of light gray shulker boxes. You're going to make the bone now. You're also going to want a bone block, obviously, because you're making a bone. And now you're going to also want 11 end stones. And you're also going to want an end stone brick. And now you're going to do it like so. Put it together like this. Put a bone block here. 3 of these. Put a cross. Put these here. Put this thing in the middle. More shulker boxes. Just like that. End stone. And more shulker boxes here. And now put the end stone here and put the jungle button here. Press this button and you're going to obtain the button back and Dio's bone. There's sometimes the button might not drop, but it's intended to drop. It's just a key. So hold this in both of your hands. You're going to get slow. You know, this effects from the White Snake Showcase, whatever it was. Cave ambient sounds. And you also, yeah, we're just directly facing the moon. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So you gotta jump near this moon over here. Near this picture of a moon. There's also going to be a catch to this stand is you can see its stats have a little depleted a little bit. You can see it has destructive power of 0. It has no destructive power whatsoever. It's a crossed out O because it just looks cooler than 0. And then you have durability B, because if I gave it an unknown stat, then who knows what we will do. Who knows what I would do. I'm not sure what I would do if I gave it an unknown durability. So I just made it B because the green baby is just weak. It's just a baby, and then you know you fuse it with your stand and then it goes a little bit lower when it comes to the HP. Speed B, because it's confirmed, and learning unknown. Um, so basically learning is at C, and you know, you got the typical Seamoon moves. There's new things here. I added 2 new versions for each move. So Gravity Strike now, you know, if you were to punch a target, a singular target, the target would go flying. And if you were to kind of strike the ground when you're on ground, like so, it would release the sounds, and you know, it would just make all things around you fly. And here is the third version of this move. Now, it is basically a leap. Um, it works like a leap. If you're not on ground, you can use this leap. Now we're going to run and jump and tell you. I'm going to tell you, and you're going to see how this works. This is the gravity strike when Seamoon is in the air and tries to punch the ground, you know. And then here's the second version of the second move. You normally would push things away. This time, if you're in the air, you can teleport up. Basically, wherever you're looking, you teleport forward. And this is pretty useful. You mix these 2 moves together, and it's gonna create a good movement combo. You can see I almost killed myself there. So let's reach heaven. Now, this thing is, I didn't show you it before. I don't know. I got lazy and didn't do the Maiden Heaven, but Maiden Heaven is completed. It is completed. So you're going to want 13 shulker boxes, soul sands, purple pillar, and also glowstone. Yeah, a ton of these items, they just need to be a ton of these items, they need silk touch or they're gonna be broken. So don't do it. Alright, now let's put them together as always. We're going to do this same as always. I'm going to remove the moves because deactivate them because they're kind of annoying. So you put this soul sand over here. Make a cross of white shulker boxes. Put glowstone on the shulker boxes and in the spots that are blank to make a square. And now, oh yeah, that's why I told you. That's why you need the glowstone. You need silk touch pickaxe to be able to do this. Because if I didn't have a silk touch pickaxe, it would just break the glowstone, and I wouldn't be able to get it back. So put them together like this, like so. Now you gotta put the pillar so it's facing this way, so it's facing with a cool looking effect. It looks the best this way, basically. Now you gotta make more crosses. Simply just make cross out of this for the remaining boxes, and now just put the last glowstone here and pull up, push the jungle button. You get it back. You got Dio's diary. How do you reach heaven is you hold the diary in your offhand and you look up and you leap off the ground. Now you're going to reach heaven, and you can see these effects have started to appear. This is a very special stance because it has a special stat, as well as Seamoon had special, basically the special destructive power. This thing has special speed, and you probably already know what I mean by special speed. It's super fast. It has destructive power B, durability A, speed infinite. It has an infinite amount of speed because you know why, because it's canon, and then you have learning B. So as a boost to A tier speed, I made it so it has haste 4. So you can just completely demolish some blocks. You can see this haste also works with your punch. I would have probably even gave it more speed if I could, for the punch to not be too fast and just kind of do not want to work. This is the only haste that has a working punch. This is the last haste that works. We're going to creative mode, and we're going to summon some zombies, just so you can see, or husks, just so you can see how these things work. So now we're going to game mode survival back, and we're going to test out some of these moves. So you got throat slice is the first move. It's very overpowered. It has tons of damage and tons of AoE on others. And then you have light speed dash is a pretty useful move. That just makes you fast for 2 seconds after usage. When you're running, of course, you can keep this forever, by the way. You can have a knife throw. It just throws a projectile. It's pretty fast as well. Time acceleration. You know what this will do. And then your universe reset, you probably already know what this will do as well. So we're going to summon a ton of husks, and I'm also going to lower my music and sounds because it's too loud. So master volume 50%, and let's summon 64 of these husks. Worst part is actually running away from these babies, but once you run away from them, like, look, what I mean by how OP Throat Slice is, this is how OP it is. You see? This is OP. And it deals instant damage 3. It basically deals tons of damage to whoever got hit, and then whoever is within range will obtain Wither for 4 seconds or like 5 seconds. See? Pretty OP. And now you got the second move. This has a cooldown of, I'm pretty sure it's 13 seconds as well. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's 13 seconds. Light speed dash. Alright, so you can press shift, and whenever you start running, when your moves are active, you will basically dash. You get a tons of speed. This effect is also different depending on if you're accelerating time or even the universe resetting. So you can just do this and just run away from everyone you want. Now let's kill all the others. Ow. Hope they all die. I'm gonna take this out all by myself. This would have probably worked better with Seamoon, but this thing has a very high cooldown. But overall, it might be even better. So let's test Knife Throw. It is just a projectile, you can see. It does pierce through enemies. It does kill them, and it does a ton of damage as well. It has a 5-second cooldown. And it can be accelerated if you time accelerate, you know. You can also work with other moves, you know. So let's accelerate time. You can see they're starting to get slower. You can see that they're starting to get slower. And I'm starting to accelerate. I already have speed 3, they have slowness 3. I have speed 4, they have slowness 4. Speed 5, slowness 5. Speed 6, they're the slowest turtles ever. And then, you know, look at this. This is how fast you can throw your knives. This is how fast you can dash. You have like no cooldowns when it comes to this dash. 0 cooldowns. It might be fixed later to have a cooldown actually. Now I'm resetting the universe. Look at this. This is even faster. And they all died because of the universe reset. They all died. Alright. So this does not work on White Snake using the first move, and it also does not work on Gold Experience Requiem, but that's obvious. And it also does not work on Sans. It also does not work on the meme tiers. Basically, no meme tiers can be affected by this. So I haven't told you what the meme tiers are yet. And I haven't probably told you what all the other stands are. So, I mean, let's go ahead and do that. You already see how powerful the stand can be. You can completely destroy any durability all the way up to C by one-shotting them. I'm pretty sure... no, it cannot one-shot. I'm pretty sure it can just one-shot D's and E's. And then, you know, if you have a sword or something, you can just completely demolish them with the Pro Slice move on. You cannot survive this if they have a sword. Because they have haste 4, they have a very fast regeneration of the full attack damage. That's how it is. And so for this, I'm pretty sure the learning is B, so you can have a little bit of decreased prices compared to other evolutions. So, I mean, it's pretty okay. But look, I made White Snake epic because the steps to heaven, the road to heaven is just hard to complete. It's very hard to complete, so it's probably even harder than obtaining a mythic or like a legendary, maybe even harder than memes. If you do not have the correct things. So let's clear and remove this. And now see the moves are gone. So what about the other mythics and legendaries and then, you know, memes? Star Platinum the World is the first mythic that I have obtained. King Crimson is the second mythic. The World is the third. And King Crimson again. King Crimson, the World. Star Platinum the World. King Crimson. Star Platinum the World. King Crimson. King Crimson. Killer Queen. Yes. So it is Star Platinum the World, King Crimson the World, and then Killer Queen. That's all the mythic stands. They currently are not in the game, but they're going to be OP as hell, so you know. What about legendaries? Well, I already told you one of these, Midnight Shapeshift. You can see this is a legendary tier. It can, of course, shapeshift into other rarities. All the way from common to rare, or like maybe even very rare, but with chances. I'm going to make it so it has actual chances of appearing. And then, you know, like let's say you have to roll, you roll from 1 to 4, you roll, nah, I think that actually doesn't work, or does it work? You like 4 to 8, like 1, like 50% of it is commons, and then you get the 25% could be possibly the uncommons, and then you know rares could be 1/8 chance, but I think that's kind of too harsh on the rare side. So you know you just have to make. So I think I would make something like this. It's kind of different. Maybe I do from 1 to 16. That actually makes more sense. And then do 1/16th chance. That's actually not a bad idea. The very rares can have different abilities, you know. Yeah, you cannot use their. If they have any evolution moves, you cannot evolve low when using items, because it just kind of feels weird, you know. If it was possible, that would just feel very weird. So let's go again. So D4C, you know what I mean by D4C is just Love Train and its ability to make clones appear and then it's gonna explode. Not gonna explode, but just give instant damage upon um, the interaction with the target. And now for other legendaries, you have the World over Heaven. Pretty simple. And you also have Star Platinum over Heaven. So these are all the stats from Legendary. Maybe there's going to be more later. I'm not sure about that. I think I would make Over Heavens a little bit rarer because they're Over Heavens. And then D4C and Midnight Shapeshift is kind of a little bit more common. I think Midnight Shapeshift deserves to be the most common one because it does not have a cool ability. I mean, it does have a cool ability, but is it really that OP in Game Ring that you can just switch to a random stand from common to very rares, mostly commons? So I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. Now, for this, there is Creeper All Man for memes. There's Creeper All Man. It has to be here, definitely. You got Mem. He's from Team Fortress 2. There's this medic. Um, there's this bootleg medic. Um, you got these targets to hit in the training, and then you have one of the medic ones. It's like the Mem. And then you have Sans. It has to be here as well, obviously. Creeper, Oh Man, Mem, Sans, and there's one more thing other than Sans. It's and Mem and Creeper, Oh Man. It is none other than Shaggy Rogers himself. This is Shaggy when he's using 1/60th. Wait, no. Dear God, how much power is he using? He's using 1/septillion percent of his power. 1/septillion. You mean like 0.000000000000000000000% of his power, the 1% of his power, and then he's all of his oh my God, all of his stats are going to of course be zeros because he's using 0% of his power, and then Sans is just gonna be you could make infinite stats for Shaggy as well. That's not a bad idea, but well, there's going to be probably another tier, and it's going to be Meme Over Heaven, which is just probably going to put Shaggy in that tier, if I want to make him have infinite stats. So what about the actual randomizer? How does it work? Well, it's simple. It uses these 3 armor sands for each one of the randomizers. It has all 8 or maybe even 9. I'm pretty sure it's 9 randomizers, and then it uses them all at once, and they're actually all randomized at the same time. So they're all randomized at the same time. So if someone were to use arrows at the same time, but if they got a different tier, they would got the same number from that tier, and they will get kind of the same the same number, but on a different tier. If you understand what I mean. Because different numbers mean different stands, just kind of that's how randomizers work. Different numbers mean different stands. So if this is all randomized at the same time for 9 of the randomizers all at once, then if 2 people were to use the arrow at the same time, then they would both, and if they didn't get the same rarity, then they would both get the same number from the randomizers. So that could kind of mean if a person got, let's say, which stand from the randomizers first? I don't remember though, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like, it is kind of random, but if they did get a rarer number, then you know, the other person will also get a rarer stand at the same time, you know. Let's say you got the rarest stand and then both use the same arrow at the same time. Uh, both got the rarest stand. If there were two numbers for one stand, or let's say one of the stands had one number and the others had more numbers, then the other stand would be rarer than all of the other ones. Then what would happen is simply that let's say they got this rarest stand but from different rarities, and if they can only appear in, like, they only got one number and the others have more than one numbers, then they would both get the rarest stand out of the rarity. That's what it is, because that's the issue that I have to fix. So it's completely random for everyone, even if they use the arrows at the same time. It's only working for arbitrary sorts. So it only works for one target at once, and then it completes at, I don't know, a random target again, but it only works on one target at once. So there's one more thing here. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. I don't think anything else I haven't done, but like, I haven't built this structure yet, but you probably already know how to build it. This is the shop, and it can also be built in any directions of the world, so you know, they all work. If I were to build it here, I can of course build it here and build it together like so. Put a sea lantern, put these gold blocks here, emerald blocks. This is very expensive. Just to access the shop, you have to lose so many materials that I don't know if it's worth it. And then you press this button, and then, but you have a permanent shop. So look, I have this at a different place, but and at a different direction that it's facing, but it still works because it's using this. It's using this. You see, it's using this. It's executing certain blocks and giving me different scores. And if that score is there, then it gives me another score. So if this structure is basically, if this structure is not complete, then let's say one of the blocks is ruined, then this structure will not work. There can be any of the blocks. All of them can be done. But if you miss one of the blocks, like I did before in this video, and I did miss 2 blocks, you can see this structure did not activate. I missed these blocks. This structure for stats did not activate, but if I were to fix this, then it will work. That's how it works. That's how it is. It detects for blocks for every target. There's it detects for every target. They have it there. So maybe you could even activate stats, activate the message for 2 people at once, but I'm not sure. So here is one of the things, basically the main objective of the video. How rare are certain rarities? Well, I've got this automatic arrow. Automatic stand giver is just, it automatically replaces my slot with the stand arrow, and you see these arrows, they work. You see, they work. So when I press this lever over here, you can see that this will start the process of automatic stance, and if this thing is, if this command block over here executes that this lever is not powered, then it will remove the objective of arrow replace. So this just adds the objective all the time, and this needs redstone, so it needs this, but it's repeating, but it needs redstone. And then here are the always active ones, and then it only works for an arbitrary, so it doesn't work for everyone. That's what it is. It only works for one target. I don't know which target. I think a random one. And then a random one is chosen, and then it keeps giving them forever until they leave and then join. And then once they're not in the server, then another random target is present, and it will give them the replace. So let's push this lever and let's see what stance we can get from this. Yellow Temperance, Death 13, Osiris, Magician's Red, Coco Jumbo, and then you got the other stance that are not with armors because they have these buttons on their heads. So you can actually use armors with them. Yeah, this is the room. You can keep following the text to see if we got any rare stance. Thanks to the say command. There's another thing we could do. So for until we obtain a legendary or a meme, then this will keep going. But if we do obtain a meme, then it will stop. So you can see every second it keeps giving me a random stand, and you know, it can also give me comments, uncommons, rares, very rares. I think the system is kind of fair, because it costs $2,000, and then mostly half of the chances are commons, and the other stands are 50% as well, and then most of the 50% of the other ones are uncommons, and then you got a little bit of rares, a little bit of the very rares, then you got epics that are kind of rare, and then you have what else? You've got mythics that happen pretty rarely, you know, legendaries that happen almost no time whatsoever, and then you got memes that are so goddamn rare. But if you get one, you should be happy. You got a meme. I have to switch the beds are occupied, or else this thing would break. With the debug stick, of course. What else? Death 13. Yeah, I made this room, and you can see it's pretty good. There's a lot of pictures here as well. It has this couch. It also has these beds. You can of course jump on this as well. You can jump on it. It kind of feels cool, but I kind of feel like I have another idea that I'm kind of stupid I didn't use, and that's of course the oak slabs, and then the oak fences, and then let's use the debug stick as well. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of stupid that I didn't use them before, though. Damn. You see, I haven't gotten any good stands. Nothing big, really. Haven't even gotten a mythic yet. Alright. Alright, now let's get ourselves a debuff stick. Oh, I just got a gold experience. That's pretty cool. East to true. East to false, west to true, waterlogged. East false, west true, south true, east false. You have to just kind of remove every single one of these. So they're all false. That's what I wanted to achieve. There, I got Star Platinum the World. This is the only rare stand I have obtained. Alright. Check for all of them if they have any of these set to true. East is set to true, alright. Damn, this is tough. There, you see this actually makes for a good table. Not bad. I don't know why I thought of using beds when I could have used this, but I guess whatever. I don't think I got anything good after the Star Platinum. I don't think so. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything good. Hmm. See if the whole table is done. I don't think so. But yeah, let's see. I think the whole table might be done. Yeah, the whole table is done. Alright. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Okay, I guess. These beds, they will stay, definitely. They make it look comfy. It's an actual table now. You can't jump on it, though. It's way bigger than in the manga, the anime, whatever. Way bigger. You see, I haven't gotten anything good right here. The only good stand I have obtained was like gold experience, probably White Snake, and like Star Platinum the World would have obtained. So you see, this is how hard memes are to get. They took like about, I don't know how many errors. I'm pretty sure it's one out of two, but two out of like 1,000. It's 1 out of 1,024 chance, I'm pretty sure. So you see, that's very rare. So I guess nothing good really happens here. Star Platinum the World again. 2 Star Platinums. Man as well, Stone 3, a ton of these. It could have been, uh, rarer. If you use this with 2 players, they would, in the same rarity, they would have an arbitrary score. And if you use this with same players but different rarities, then they would have the same number from the stand. So I have to fix that as well. On the old world, I had a different problem. where I couldn't get the one rarity to work, but then the other rarities, uh, they worked. They worked, yeah, were arbitrary. But that was with command blocks. These are just mere command blocks. I'm not really using them that much. These are just the rarities. This is the remover, the automatic um, stance, and this is I just don't want to add them to functions because it's like one-time use. I don't really want to add them to the functions. Now for this, it's just a stand remover. So I mean manual adder and remover. So this is just automatic, and this is manual, and this is just giving the correct rarities, and this is just detecting if this thing is not powered, and then if it is not powered, then it resets. No, it does not. It removes the whole scoreboard. So it just kind of resets everyone's stats. And then, these structures, this is the shop, stats, and the other structures were to obtain Green Baby and to obtain um, Dio's Bone and Dio's Diary. You can take a closer look at this. The last thing I got was Start Platinum the World. So um, you can see I haven't gotten anything good through this. It's like it's like I can't get anything that's better than like Mythic, and that's Start Platinum the World. So I mean, yeah, these abilities are game breaking kind of because they can stop time. I got a mem. All right, finally. So you can see that I have obtained a meme tier finally after like I don't know how many arrows, like 1k something arrows. I'm probably sure that's about at least at least 500 600 arrows were used. And it's not gonna be that easy, you know. You got a meme tier. So mem is of course as every other meme tier. Um, infinite stats, bruh. What else would it be? And then they all got certain boosts. For health, infinite health is basically um, you could add infinite amounts of health. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be that stupid. It's gonna basically have a triple amount of durability A. So I mean, that's kind of cool. And then you have speed infinite. You know what that means? Just haste 4. And destructive power is infinite because it is infinite. Learning infinite is just every time you click, you get it's like every time you click, it's every basic item is for free, and then for zeros is also for free. However, um, for memes, every time you click a basic item, you're gonna get $1. So you can keep spamming that, and you buy 2,000 arrows, and then you get, depending on what you did, you get 1 arrow, or maybe even 0. So you have to buy like 2,600 arrows to be able to get a free arrow for others. I mean, meme tier is pretty good. You can see. So I don't know what to do here. Like, I think this is all that I have to do. Like, nothing big. Really, like, I got mem from an arrow, you see, and I normally would have not gotten. So, Shaggy Rogers. You can see a ton of Shaggies that just keeps Creeper all man, Shaggy Rogers, Creeper all man, Creeper all man, Shaggy Rogers, Shaggy Rogers, Shaggy Rogers, Sans, Shaggy Rogers, Shaggy Rogers, Shaggy Rogers, Sans. I'm not gonna stop until I get mem. Alright, I got mem. So, right now through this whole world, from the automatic, I have obtained two memes, and it was Sans and Mem. Maybe even more memes. I don't remember, but you see, before we have obtained um, the Mem, Spice Girl, Death 13, Yellow Temperance, Sticky Fingers. After the Sticky Fingers, the second one. After this Sticky Fingers, I have stopped because I have obtained a Mem, and these depending on the rarity, it's just gonna be different um, amounts of moves. So let's say commons would have one move. It's pretty understandable actually, because Coco Jumbo can access the room. Nothing big really. The only move they can have is access the room. Anubis is just a sword. So I mean, you could sword spawn, toggle sword, and then you have Osiris is just like, let's say something such as Soul Chip, and then once you kill someone with this, it's just you gain a boost for 5 minutes, and then pretty good boost for a common. Not a good ability though. And then you have Bastet is just uh, placing the outlet, and then you have the thing. For uncommons, what about uncommons? Highway Stars just um, chasing things down, and like you can chase down things, and then you know what you can do. Um, Once it's chased you down, it sucks the life out of them. You get HP back for their damage, and then for the second move, I have no idea what the second move might be, or like smell detection or something. It's just that you know summons something there, or like gives everyone in the world glowing in a radius of 50 blocks, and then you all get glowing, that the highway star is looking for you. So that's how it is. Now Hierophant Green, I know Emerald Splash, 20 meter Emerald Splash with the barrier all along now. Crossfire Hurricane for Magician's Red, and Fireball and Crossfire Hurricane special, that's what it is. What else was there? Spice Girl is just, I guess, softening and soften something, and then I don't know, like let's say you got a trampoline and then you got softening. I mean, that's pretty cool, I guess. Get a debuff to something, and then you need actual weapons to be able to hit someone, or you get a passive strength boost. That's actually not a bad idea. That would be pretty OP. Yeah, just make it more balanced. Now for rares, Oh, by the way, if you're using Mr. President, everyone around you will be sent to the room as well. Everyone around you. In a radius of 2 blocks, or 3, 5 blocks. Everyone around you will be sent there, and everyone with the distance is gonna get um, a weakness. So you can't really hurt each other. That's what it is. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Even Gold Experience Rock Room is gonna get weakness. And then you can't even use moves, because active moves tag is going to be removed. And for the rares, what the hell is the rare? Harvest is just obtaining the money. It's just basically obtaining items, and now just uh, throwing one of the projectiles of harvest, and then just so they carry you. So the harvest just carry you. The carry move, and then for Silver Chariot, or no, Silver Chariot does not this rarity, dear God. Alright. The hand is just Eraser Swipe, and then the Eraser Swipe that just basically brings you forward, and Eraser Swipe that brings targets to you. Not a bad idea. Might actually stay like that, you know. Might stay rare because it's not gonna be very good, you know. Now, Harvest, we already did it. Hands, we did it. Yellow Temperance, 3 moves. Oh my god. It creates an aura. First move creates an aura. Everyone around you will be hurt, and you know, in a radius of 2 blocks, and then for a certain amount of time. Now for um, the second move, what should I do with it? I think I'm gonna make it. I know, but that's the third move. So I think I'm gonna make it. I have no idea what to do with the second move. I don't know. Just kind of make some kind of. Guess I could possibly do. I mean, the disguise would be the third move. So what else could it be? Like some puddle? Now, I'm not trying to copy from things like Pretty JoJo, you know. 'Cause that's basically copying their idea if I were to copy that, but the stand isn't there anymore, so it's only in the copied Pretty JoJos, the modded versions. So I don't know what to do. I guess I could try to make some kind of puddle um, with certain wither amplifier. Let's say wither 6. That does not affect me. How could I make it so it does not affect me? I know I can use an area effect cloud and certain particles to it, but it would also affect me, wouldn't it? It would. So I have no idea what. Maybe I would use it, but then the effect for me gets cleared. So I can't really be hurt with it. That also means every other yellow temperance cannot be hurt. Now, third move is of course the ability to disguise as at different stands, but disguise is a different stand, but you can't use the stand's moves because it's gonna disguise as. I mean, you can disguise as every stand, but I don't know how I could make it so it works for every single. You just get a random stand, I guess, attached to you as well, but this needs to be binary amount of stands. But I mean, if there's a binary number for randomizers, oh yeah, I could probably do that. Oh, that's not bad. You could also do chances. I mean, that's not a bad idea. And then chances for more common stands, the worst looking stands, like, you know, where you can't flex with them, they're gonna be higher. And then for flexible, for the one that you can flex with, is of course the memes. They're gonna be the rarest, bruh. What are you expecting? Now, for what else do I want to do? White album is just, you know, freezing someone in place. Bullet, basically the bullets, making the bullets useless, like the arrows, crossbows, every projectile useless, and then, you know, gently weeps is the same, bruh. And you got a blizzard or something that just slows down everyone around you and deals the wither damage. So I mean, that's okay, I guess. For very rares, dear God, I have to talk every single thing. Death 13 is of course, it's gonna be a specific exclusive map where you can teleport. and then teleport others, and then once they're at that place, they're gonna be spread playered from that one place, and then so they're gonna be spread playered. And then they cannot use their stance, and their active moves are going to be reset unless they had active moves on. That's kind of stupid, or you could just make it so they become useless. Probably that's a better idea. So then you need to find them, and they can actually run away from you, and you might not ever find them. But if you do find them, then they're basically useless unless they have projectile moves. But I mean, since moves are not in the nightmare world, unless you have already gotten the active moves. Yeah, that's useless. You could use like some sleep powder move to just make them go to sleep. Like White Snake's memory disk. You know what I mean by that? And then once they're under the effects of um, memory disk or the sleep powder, they can go to the nightmare world. That's not a bad idea. Because they're sleeping when they're stolen, when they have stolen discs. So I mean, they're sleeping. So they're both sleeping. They have to be sent there. They just have to be dreaming. And the human organism just dreams all the time once they're asleep. So I mean, it just makes it so you just basically once you're asleep, you're dead. You just teleport there. This also will work on bed users if they do get hurt by the Death 13 with the move. So if you're sleeping in a bed and you get hurt by one of these, you're basically going to be sent to the world of nightmares. And this is only like 2 moves. What else could it be? Like some kind of scythe. You could use a hoe as a scythe. And then since it's adventure mode, you can't really plant anything. So that's fine. And then it does a lot of damage, but it has a pretty low attack speed. And after you can also, of course, also what else could you possibly do as Death 13? There's supposed to be four moves, but like I'm kind of running out of ideas for every stand. I don't want to do this for every stand. Just kind of ideas that I'm thinking of. I don't know if they're going to be useful or not. So you already know all the moves for commons because there's basically only one move. Here is 2 moves, 3, 4, 5. You see for this 5 and then 6, 7, that would be 8 moves. But memes, they're not gonna have 8 moves because the maximum amount of moves is 7. Because these slots are for move deactivation and activation, and then these other moves are actually the moves that could be workable with. And that's basically it. Like nothing else I could do here. I'm kind of running out of ideas, that's why. But you could kind of get the guesses of what the other hands could do. Like let's say for example, King Crimson, could erase time and epitaph, and then chop or donut people, and then you got Star Platinum, the worlds. You can basically stop time and aura, and then or can actually aura? I don't think so, but it can throw a bearing projectile, and then you can also throw some spear. And then, like the world can donut people, stop time, and do other stuff. D4C can love train. Um, we already told you the other fake stand, the non-canon stand. It actually does come from a song, but it's too irrelevant for me to tell you. Like Hierophant Green with Emerald Splash, 20-meter Emerald Splash with the barrier, other stuff. So it kind of depends on the stand itself, like the moves. You got discs on White Snake. It makes sense because it used discs, and then you got gravity stuff with C1. It makes sense because he can reverse gravity and basically manipulate it to whatever he wants to. You can kind of manipulate time that way, but not surely. Then Maiden Heaven can just accelerate time because it's fast, it has reached heaven. It just accelerates time, because it does. It resets the universe because it does. You got the other stands. Killer Queen explodes things because it's Killer Queen. And it has sheer heart attack. And third bomb because it's Killer Queen. Like, what else would it be? Silver Chariot has the ability to attack with a sword because it's Silver Chariot, It's basically, you know what it is. It's just depending on the stand. Depending on the stand, you have to make certain moves. And moves that are canon, you have to make them because it wouldn't make sense if they were not canon. You could just do completely random other moves. They all have cooldowns, different cooldowns, and they all take one function for each stance. I could probably make them all for stand moves for every single stand the same file, but I kind of feel like it just kind of feels better with different functions for each stand. So let's go ahead and chill out in the room, just like 1 more minute. And it also has a cool effect that sometimes you might hear the door. I just pressed that button. You can see I kind of like opened the door and closed it again, so that works. The worst part about this is probably the fact that this does not look good, but from this, from the front, it actually looks normal. It looks pretty good. And the table, it actually looks good as well. Now, using the debug stick, you can make a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Here's the cabinet, here's the round chair. So yeah, it's just the room. It has pictures, the barrels, because if I use chests, they would not be openable. Oh, I just removed the painting. Yeah, I have to tell you, oh my god, you can actually do paintings all at once. It's pretty weird. I never thought you could do that. I mean, they're entities, so they can be overlapped and written, you see. They look kind of weird though. Let's get rid of this. Alright, we need the other pictures. Let's get it back. Alright, we got it back. Alright, so I guess that's it. You can see the time is the midnight. Alright, so we got back. I think it automatically opens and closes, so that's a pretty cool effect. I never actually planned it, but it actually makes a ton of sense. You leave it like this, it still closes itself. Huh. That's pretty nice. Pretty neat effect. Closes itself on its own. What if I were to leave it not opened? Yeah, you see, this is just trickery. I'm not gonna do anything more with this. But I guess I can leave. This is getting kind of boring. I did basically everything I have. Stats, stand, randomizers, and this room, their abilities, made in heaven, shop, everything. And Green Baby structure, the Dio's bone structure, and the Dio's diary structure as well. Basically, I did everything here. It's just all the stuff that I had made, all in functions. So it's all done in functions. Nothing else than just simple functions. This was also done on this version, so 1.14.4. I haven't done it on 1.15 because I'm pretty sure if I did, the projectiles they wouldn't teleport constantly and they wouldn't feel smooth. So oh yeah, I have this thing. And I also made it with yellow glass, you can see. So this is the whole room. It it looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah, this is the key bindings. You can actually pause the game. I'm not gonna try and do that. Let's just go back to spawn. Wow, that's pretty cool. I can game pause. You can pause the game now. Wow. Alright, this has been it. Goodbye and take care.